with a final exam. Okay? It's finals week coming up. And so I want to split you into 3 groups. So this will be a group project. No pressure on you individually. But here are my 3 groups, just vaguely right around here. You guys will be group 1. All right? And you guys will be group 2, somewhere in the middle. You can find over where the dividing line. And then group 3. Okay? Everybody got it? All right. We're going to sing. No. I'd make you sing. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to, and you have to, this won't work unless you really do as I say. I'm the dictator. So I'm going to show you a picture. Everybody's going to see a picture of the same object. Okay? And I want you to guess what it is. All right? So everybody's going to close their eyes. And when everybody's got their eyes closed, we're going to go through and get some purses in the back. But this first group, so go ahead, close your eyes. Think sweet thoughts. First group, you can open your eyes. Now, don't say a word, but now you see my favorite object. Okay? Now, close your eyes. Second group, open your eyes and take a look at my favorite object. All right? Close your eyes. And the third group, open your eyes. This is my favorite object. Okay? And now everybody can open their eyes. Okay? Now, all at once, I want you to see what's the name of my object. A what? A squirrel? So, somebody said, what was it? A circle, and you guys thought it was a triangle, and you guys thought it was a... You guys are blind. All right? First group saw this picture. Clearly not a circle. Second group saw this one. I can't believe you thought it was a triangle. And the third group saw this one. I don't know where you come up with the square for this. All right? Let me show you 3 more pictures of this object. This is my favorite object, okay? So here's another picture of it. Here's another one. Here's another one. Now you know? Not yet? Okay, well let's take a better look at this. Here's my favorite object. It kind of looks like a square sometimes. Kind of looks like a triangle sometimes. Kind of looks like a circle sometimes. So the problem is you're stuck in 2 dimensions. And you're thinking in 2 dimensions. And you're arguing with each other. I want you to cut it out. That you have such firm belief. This is a triangle, damn it. But these things seem like contradictions. You can't have somebody say it's a triangle or a square. You'll never get out of first grade. But as soon as you think, well, maybe this thing lives in 3 dimensions, then it can be all 3 of these things. Right? So sometimes we have contradictions that, because our thinking isn't considering a broader perspective of incorporating these things together. And this is really, I think, the heart of what I want to say. I grew up in the Northeast. It's very mixed place. I lived with or had friends with, Jews and Sikhs and Muslims and you name it. And Red Sox fans, that's the hardest. And I'll give you an example. At 5 years old, in my neighborhood then, Jesus was either Irish or Italian. I don't know if you knew this. And I was like, 5, these are kind of crazy. How can you possibly believe that? Because I had written away for a Christmas present for a picture of Jesus, and he was as white Anglo as you get. Italian. So, but this is the thing I think that we have as every society. This, you look from your own perspective. If you're standing over here and you see that 3-dimensional object, it looks like a triangle, and we start to argue that it's a triangle. And we have all these religions and philosophies and ideologies and so on, and we stick to them without thinking that maybe in some higher dimension we're all telling the truth, that we aren't telling contradictions to each other. That when I hear somebody else say something about their faith, I should not stand up and say that's crazy, because maybe I'm the one that's crazy. Maybe I'm the one that's not thinking that there's this umbrella that actually picks the truth out of many of these different things, right? Now, I'm not saying everything goes. You're free to say, believe what you like. I mean, the Earth is not 5,000 years old. It's hard to say that it's, 6 billion or whatever, but it's pretty easy to say it's not 5. This is verifiable science. So there's some things that, I'm going to go out on a limb here, you shouldn't believe. But, on the other hand, seems like we should be more accepting of some of these things and stop saying that we're going to accept each other. It sounds nice. Let's accept each other, or let's tolerate each other. I don't think these are great perspectives on that. It's like, okay, I tolerate you living next to me, you idiot. Celebrate. So I had these two crazy kids up there celebrating their differences, looking at saying somebody who believes something different than you and saying, wow, cool, tell me about it because I might learn something. I might broaden some deeper understanding of what it is I thought I believed. And it was Kurt Gödel that got me to that point. It was logic. It was thinking of these things that are impossible and that we can't capture this truth. God is just too big to fit in our little boxes. Way too big. I've been drawing these big balloons to kind of represent things. I think they're even smaller than this. They're just tiny. Just tiny what we know and think we know. In fact, Gary Larson, one of the great philosophers of our time, has a nice example of this. I don't know if you can read it. It's trivia tonight, game show. God's playing Norman. And the guy says, yes, that's right. The answer is Wisconsin. Another 50 points for God. And it looks like Norman, our current champion, hasn't even scored yet. God's got 1,000 points or so. So this is where I'd like to end and have you think about, isn't it odd that math could say anything like this? So thank you. I should also say that you might know Einstein bagels. This is a famous quote. I think it was Jim. But.
Well, on behalf of the Memorial Union, I'd like to thank Professor Hurlbert for delivering such a great last lecture. I think I'm still a little perplexed by some of it, but I'm a self-proclaimed apologist. And in appreciation of his last lecture, we'd like to present him with a certificate.
Thanks.
And we'll also receive a $500 honorarium.
Thank you very much.
Why don't we give him another round of applause?
Thanks. I have one last thing to say, I'm sorry, but last week, you might have seen this face. I didn't want to say this in the beginning because I would never get through the rest of it, but a professor at Virginia Tech didn't know it would be his last lecture. And so I'm lucky to have this. Thank you.